Learn Student Ambassadors Unilag Boot Camp, and this is the cybersecurity track. Especially, it's good to take note of the fact that we are the project phase. Like we have said in the group page, the next 3 days will be devoted to project presentations, where those who have gone through this boot camp will be presenting their projects and what they have worked on. And when we started right off, one of the emphasis we laid, which I also said I appreciate this boot camp for, is to make everybody realize and the participants to realize that cybersecurity can come in two broad categories. We can have the technical aspect of cybersecurity, and we can have the non-technical aspect of cybersecurity. You just need to discover and find out which one works best for you, or the ones that you will feel fulfilled in. And I made mention of a point that when it comes to cybersecurity, especially when you are starting out fresh, I always encourage learn as much as you can learn. Learn about the technical aspects, learn about the non-technical aspects. It's very funny that the person presenting tonight is actually non-technical, but eventually there was some technical in his job or in his work. So it's just important. Yeah, you may not be very good, but have an experience, have an exposure of what is done in the technical aspect. And that's why this boot camp handles everything. See, we're given an array of different things that can be done in cybersecurity, both the non-technical and the technical. And I said some things that the challenge most cybersecurity training encounter is most of the training are lopsided. If the person handling the training is a technical person, it tends to take everybody through technical. If the person handling the training is the non-technical person, he or she tends to take everybody through the non-technical. So at the end of the day, people don't have the broad idea of what cybersecurity is. So it's very important to take note of the fact that cybersecurity is both technical and non-technical. And for new entries, I always encourage learn as much as you can of both worlds. Then you can now start to specialize in any particular area, because there is no way one part of cybersecurity will not come up at one time or the other, even if it is not a part that you have your expertise on. One part would always come up. So that's one of the reasons why, for those who had gone through this boot camp, we gave them that exposure of both the technical and the non-technical in a very high level manner anyway, both the technical and the non-technical. And we also felt that one of the best way we can finish up and wrap up this boot camp is to give everyone that has gone through this boot camp an opportunity for hands-on. That's another misconception some persons have. Some persons feels that if it is not technical, you cannot have hands-on. There is only technical that have hands-on. But you are going to see in the course of the next 3 days that both technical and non-technical have hands-on their job. And like I said, there are some non-technical projects that would also still have some bit of some technical dimension, And we also got to discover, during one of our trainings, we found out that most persons, when we also talk of technical, the only thing they are thinking about technical is penetration testing. If you that's the only technical aspect of cybersecurity, well, I just laugh. Penetration testing is just one of the technical aspects of cybersecurity. That is not the only technical aspect of cybersecurity. There are other technical aspects of cybersecurity that is not penetration testing. Those who are into SOC analyst is a technical aspect, because you have to use some basic programming language. Yeah. So it's not just only the SOC, it's not only the pen testers that does technical. There are also some other technical aspects of cybersecurity that is not pen testing. So it's important to take note. Is Olawale on the call now?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm on the call, sir.
Good evening. That's very good. I'm having some challenges with my device. One of my major devices is asking for a very compulsory update, which I don't want to play with. And that update is going on. So I will not be able to share from my end. So you may have to try to share from your end. So once you share your screen, I would formally introduce you so that you can start speaking. So could you go ahead to share your screen?
Okay, sir. I will share now.
Okay. And please take note that after his presentation, you could ask question for verification to get some more details from his presentation. So once his screen is up, I'll formally introduce him and bring him on board. Mr. Tunde, please make sure you get in touch with your supervisor so that he can probably get for tomorrow. Because I don't know if there's any other apart from yourself and Wale. And please let's take note for everyone taking presentation. We only have today, tomorrow, and Saturday. We only have those 2 days for presentation. Okay, let's
Okay.
have your front page. Let's have your
Okay. Yes, sir. Is my screen visible now?
yes, it's very visible. It's very visible. So once again, I want to welcome everybody to the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors University of Lagos Bootcamp, especially looking at the cybersecurity track project. We have been, like I said earlier on, we have been running this for over 6 to 7 weeks now, and we are gradually coming to the end of this boot camp. And one of the learning milestone for us is for participants of this project or participants of this boot camp to engage in an hands-on project. And like I said earlier on, some could be technical, some could be not technical. Even for those that are non-technical, there has to be an hands-on, which is an example of what we're going to see today. So the topic that we presented today is creating an introductory cybersecurity policy for First Choice Cyber Cafe, which is going to be presented by Detola Olawale Ezekiah. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome to you the newest cybersecurity professional in town, Odetola Olawale Ezekiah, for his project presentation. Please, you can go ahead.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate. Good day, everyone. My name is Odetola Lawale Vikaya. I'm here to present my project report based on the project topic, creating an introductory cybersecurity policy for First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprises. And it is being supervised by my Mr. Matthew Oluwani, my amiable supervisor. I really appreciate that. So my table of contents, number one, I have my executive summary, followed by my introduction, my literature review, methodology, results, discussion, samples of cybersecurity policy for First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprises, which is my key deliverable. Then training and awareness program, conclusion, and finally my references. So the executive summary, let's move to the next one. The executive summary of my project report. This report outlines a comprehensive cybersecurity policy for First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprise, highlighting the measures required to protect the business IT infrastructure, data, and customer privacy. The report covers the assessment of potential cybersecurity risk, identifications of vulnerabilities, a step-by-step implementation plan, and an awareness training program for employees and customers. The objective is to minimize risk and secure the business from both internal and external cyber threats. The methodology includes a detailed risk assessment followed by an actionable implementation plan. So the whole story behind this project report has been summarized in this passage so as to give a glimpse of what I'm going to be sharing later. So let me move to the introduction. So what is the purpose of this project? The purpose of this policy is to establish clear guidelines for security digital resources, protecting sensitive data, and managing the company's IT infrastructure against cyber threats. The policy covers the following area. Number one, we have the data protection, device security, network security, employee responsibilities, and incident response. The objectives of this project. The objectives of the project is to create, number one, a cybersecurity policy document. Two, risk assessment, that is the potential cybersecurity risks, identifications of vulnerabilities and threats relevant to its operations. The next one, we have the implementation plan, the timeline, resources needed, and the responsible personnel involved. Then we have the training materials to raise awareness about the cybersecurity policy. What is the significance of this whole project report, of this study? To develop a cybersecurity policy document is crucial for ensuring a robust security posture, protecting valuable assets, complying with legal obligations, risk management, establishing roles and responsibilities. Therefore, ensuring business continuity, promoting awareness and training, supporting technological innovation, building trust with stakeholders, and incident response and reporting. So what is the scope of this cybersecurity policy document? So the scope of the cybersecurity document, number one, it covers assets. Assets covers. The policy applies to various types of assets such as network, servers, database, application. So one of the scope of this cybersecurity policy document is asset covered, users and stakeholders. Specifies who the policy applies to, including employees, contractors. Then we have the data and information. The scope covers data and information, the geographical coverage, systems and network, cybersecurity areas, processes and procedures. Let me move on to the limitations of the cybersecurity policy document. We have the technological constraints, which are the legacy systems. The legacy system, the policy may not be fully effective on outdated or legacy systems that are incompatible with modern security measures. The legacy system simply means when you are having an outdated systems which are not compatible with modern security measures. So those are the technology constraints. We have the legacy system, we have the resource limitations, budgetary constraints, implementing all recommended security measures, which can be costly, and the organization may be unable to allocate sufficient funds for the necessary tools, staff, or training. We have human error and insider threats. Despite well-designed policy, human error, negligence, or malicious intent from insiders can also compromise security. Employees may also accidentally violate policy or deliberately engage in harmful activities which may not be fully preventable through policy. Also, we have the legal and regulatory compliance, incident detection and response, user compliance. Policies are only as effective as their adherence by the users. We have the scope boundaries, impact of external factors. Let me move on to the literature review. The literature review, let me quickly scroll through the historical background of first choice cyber cafe enterprises. So my local business, which I chose, is in my vicinity. So I tried to search around. So I discovered a cyber cafe, which I know will be very good in this kind of projects, majorly on cyber security, knowing major vulnerabilities and potential threats that can be imposed on humans. First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprise is a business that provides customers with internet access for browsing, scanning and printing of documents, computer hardware and other digital services. First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprises is located at number 8 Ajasa Command Road, Lagos, Nigeria with 2 stars. Their services are as follows: internet access, desktops, printing, scanning and faxing, digital services which are the online bill payment, ticket bookings. We have the gaming consoles and arcade game, training and workshops, computer skills, software applications. So in this cyber cafe, they render all these services, internet service, printing, scanning, typing, faxing, also digital service, online bill payment, member bill, ticket booking, gaming console, training and workshops, people that want to learn Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, CorelDRAW. So they allow those kind of training to be done there. Their target audience is for students, professionals, gamers, entrepreneurs, and tourists. First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprises has high-speed internet, modern computer hardware with comfortable sitting and ambience. Also, some security measures are put in place by installing antivirus software and firewalls on their laptops. There's also CCTV surveillance. So the operational model of the business in First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprise. First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprises operates on a business model of pay-per-use, internet, computer rental. Customers are charged by the amount of time used with the company. Customers are not allowed to bring in their laptops or computers into the premises. Only their staffs are allowed. So in First Choice Cyber Cafe Enterprises, customers are not allowed to bring in their laptops or computers into the premises. Only their staffs are allowed, and there's also policies that are backing that up. So what are the methodologies? The methodology are used in identifying the cybersecurity policy document, in identifying the potential vulnerability, potential cybersecurity threat. So number one, I have the risk assessment process. The risk assessment process, it involves identifying potential cybersecurity threats, evaluating their likelihood and impact, and prioritizing mitigation strategies. The process includes surveying of existing infrastructure. I went there, surveyed the whole existing infrastructure, reviewing the cyber cafe hardware, software, and the network configuration by basically checking their laptops and their server. Identifying vulnerabilities, assessing the risks related to shared computers, public Wi-Fi, and customer data collection. Threat analysis also, understanding the types of cyber threats most relevant to the business, such as malware, unauthorized access, and phishing attacks. Mitigation strategies, developing and recommending security measures to mitigate identified risks, including network security, device security, data protection, user awareness, and incident response. So data collection, how am I able to gain data? How am I able to collect information through from my risk assessment process? Number one, I interview with staff and customers regarding usage habits. Like I said earlier, the area is named like the hello.
Hello, you need to reshare your screen. Okay, you need to share your screen again. Your presentation is off the screen. Are you there? We can hear you. You are still
Can
on.
anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Just go back to your presentation.
Okay, all right.
Don't worry, I quickly did a data backup
So
for you. so that you
Okay.
know.
So, like I said earlier, data collection. Now I'll be able to gather my data, collect information through my risk assessment process. I interview with staff and customer usage habits. Like I said earlier, the business is around my vicinity. So I try to look for a cyber cafe, a business where I can actually take some important notes about cyber security and their major threats, cyber threats in particular. So network monitoring to detect any signs of unauthorized access or vulnerabilities. Reviewing of existing IT policies and practices, including antivirus software, network security, and patch management. Conducting vulnerability scans of network infrastructure and devices. So before they gave me access, I already introduced myself that I'm so. They know me already. So I tried to tell them what I'm about to do. And from there, we were able to even catch some form. I tried to tell them about cyber security. They are also aware. And we try to test one or two things, try to do one or two things. And from there, I'm able to gather a lot of information, which I'm going to be sharing. Then the tools are technology utilized, laptops and computers, then my mobile phones. Then my result, the result gathered from all my risk assessment process and my data collection. So the result of the risk assessment, vulnerability analysis and threat identification process. Number one, the potential cybersecurity risks. Number one is public Wi-Fi attacks. Majorly, those cyber cafes, they are actually attacked with a lot of Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi. Hack into the people trying to hack the password, people trying to get the password, trying to gain unauthorized access on the unsecured public network. Also, malware and viruses. Some customers will just come, bring their their USB, flash drive, their external hard disk, and from there is a virus there. So from there they will transmit that virus on their own personal USB flash drive into the company's laptop, and from there the viruses enter into the computer and some start behaving abnormally. Then unauthorized access, weak password and lack of multi-factor authentication (MFA) on security system. Data theft. From the results, some customers try to steal people's data. Some customers try to steal people's data. Some customers will, like, maybe they're getting someone trying to know a particular information, trying to get a particular data about a person. So once they've seen that this person enter into this cyber cafe, they want to know what he or she has done. So after the person has stood up, so they will try to go there to that laptop and see if they can go to the browsing history and see if they can get one or two information, but I think they are not able to do that. So there's data theft. So those are potential cyber security risks which have been able to gather. The rogue users, possibility of malicious actors using the cyber cafe resources to launch cyber attacks, commit fraud, or hack into third-party system. Then the identified vulnerabilities, unsecured Wi-Fi, weak user authentication, outdated software, inadequate security awareness. So threats, what are the threats? We have the external cyber criminals, internal threats, third-party threats. Then my discussion is majorly from the result
Olawale, if you are there, we can't hear you again. Hello, Lawale, we can't hear you again. Oh, yeah. This network do something. Let's just hold up a little for him. I believe he'll be able to come in back. Probably got kicked out by network as he continues to discuss the results of his project, which is developing a cybersecurity policy for a small business. And he decided to work on a cyber cafe, which is very relevant to what we are talking about. So let's just wait for him to be able to come back on. Let me just chat him up on the background. Okay. Okay, let's just slow down a little bit for him. We hope to see him join up. Okay, let me see if I think he shared these materials with me. I will just share his document that is with me. I would hope that he joins up. So as we're expecting him back, like he already made us to realize that the major deliverables for his work is a cybersecurity policy. And in getting to that, he had to take us through a number of things, especially what he has done that would lead to development of that particular policy. Now, this is making us to realize that when it comes to some cybersecurity projects, you have to be able to understand the chain of events, the chain of activity that would lead to your primary deliverables. And let me also say this, especially for those who were around when we were preparing for this project phase. It's important to take note when you're embarking on cybersecurity projects, you should have an idea of what's your objective, then what are your primary deliverables. And this goes for every other person that would have that'll be giving us a report of their project. You need to allow us to know what is your primary deliverables so that whichever steps you are taking should push us and should lead us towards your deliverables. And for him, like he already made us to realize, his deliverable is a policy, cybersecurity policy. Olawale, if you are on, let me know so that you can continue. Okay. So that's his own major deliverables. However, before those deliverables, there are inputs. Deliverable is an output. There are inputs that are needed to give us those deliverables. And part of the input is the surveys that he had to do, which he was already telling us about, the surveys that he has to do, the risk assessment he has to carry out, because all these things would inform the framework and the direction for the cybersecurity policy. Now, this makes us to start having some basic understanding that when it comes to cybersecurity, you need some knowledge to give you the result that you need or the result that you want. You don't just go developing a cybersecurity policy. And that's why I said it that you can't just go online and pick something or you go to ChatGPT and just type something. You need to do an assessment of the organization itself. You need to do an assessment of the organization itself, find out like what he has done and what he's already telling us, find out their location, because I think I was speaking with one of our students on this platform that most people don't even realize that there's a physical dimension of cybersecurity. So when a lot of people are talking about cybersecurity, they don't even pay attention to the physical aspect of cybersecurity, because when you have threats like tailgating, when you have threats like tailgating is a physical act, but it could have a cybersecurity implication. It could have a cyber implication. And when someone tailgates, the person might get to a place where he or she can have access to physical infrastructure, or he or she might have an access to drop a bait. You know, in cybersecurity, there's what we call baiting. And baiting is when you intentionally leave something for the purpose of, or for a malicious intent. An example is a flash drive. You know, and that's why it's important to take note that you don't just pick any flash drive anywhere and put it on your system that you want to check what is there, except you know who owns the system or who owns the flash drive, or you have a very active and strong antivirus. But in most cases, it's not really advisable to just pick to pick a flash drive and use. It could be baited, you know, baited, or it could be a bait eventually. So it's important we take note of that. I don't know if he's back. Are you back, Olawale? Wow, this is a and it's just getting to where his results is. Sorry. Let me see. Please let me see where I can reach him. Coming. Hold on a little bit. We'll continue in a moment. He did a very good work because I worked with him. I followed through, but like I said, he did a very good job, a very good work. And for every other person that is here, like we mentioned the last time, please make sure your presentation, once you are done, include it in your portfolio, include your cybersecurity portfolio. It's very important. Let me see. Now the challenges. Oh. Okay. Let's still see what can happen in the next 5 minutes. And please take notes that this continues tomorrow. And if you'll be presenting, please let me know, or let your supervisor also know, because he would also reach out. Aziz, are you on the call? I doubt. I think Aziz, are you on the call? Okay. It's not. Okay. So please, if you are going to be presenting, let your supervisor be aware so that they can prep you. And it will save us a lot of time by the time you come on board. So please, let's take note of that. And I would want to say that probably the presenter had a network issue, and since this is a continuous process, we would be continuing tomorrow. By tomorrow, we'll just start up with him to give us his report. So hopefully by tomorrow, in 10 minutes or less, he's done with his own part. And Agbola, please make sure, is Agbola on the call too? Okay. Agbola,
Yes,
please make
yes.
sure. Okay, good. Make sure you get ready for your own tomorrow. Please reach your supervisor and let him know you are presenting tomorrow, so that any prep he needs to do, he does with you. Then would have your presentation too. Then Priye, when are you presenting? Praise, when are you presenting? Williams, when are you presenting? We only have tomorrow and Saturday left. So please. Please, if you have not reached your supervisor, please reach your supervisor. It's very critical. Because I already dropped the templates. You know, it's a busy period for a lot of people. So don't just reach your supervisor and just drop hi or just drop good morning. Reach your supervisor, drop all the message at once, so that when he comes online, sees your message, gets the full thoughts and respond holistically too, instead of just dropping one message still, because everybody really gets busy. So please, let's take note of that. And I think we may have to call it a day. I believe we picked one or two things, and by tomorrow you'll be able to ask more questions. And I think tomorrow we should have about 3 presentations. So we would need to work on our timing. Once again, we appreciate every one of you for coming. For those of you that have not yet presented, please prepare for presentation tomorrow. Like I said, we don't have enough time on us or with us. And we'll complete this presentation when we come together tomorrow. He will just go straight to his deliverables. Then we can ask 1 or 2 questions and some lessons that we can learn, then go to other presentations for tomorrow. Once again, I appreciate, I don't know, maybe anybody wants to ask questions, but the person that should answer you is not around, because I should not answer on his behalf. I should just support him. So please, let's pull up all the questions to tomorrow. So by tomorrow, 8 o'clock, we'll meet again to continue the presentation. Like I said, if you have not met with your supervisor, please meet with your supervisor and make clarifications that are needed. And we'll see tomorrow. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We meet tomorrow for 8 o'clock. And please, let's come on time. If possible, let's be here before 8. Our hosts, please help us to also set up. Let's come up before 8 so that by 8 o'clock, we'll start exactly. So probably if the room can be open like 10 minutes to 8, so that by 8 o'clock, we start exactly. Thank you very much. I appreciate every one of you. Do have a restful night. Bye-bye.